Welcome, everybody. It's another edition of the Winter Circle Sports Betting Podcast. It's a Thursday, August the 1st, and GamblersWorld.net bringing you all of the content here. Be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We like that. We're all on Twitter. But, besides Doug's great shirt, we got a lot going on here. We have a preseason football game we'll talk about briefly. We got 3 baseball games we'll talk about. Me and Chip are 2-0 yesterday, getting the job done there. I'm a little annoyed, Chip, because I said I should do a run line in that game with the Padres at 175. I should have, but I got greedy the night before, and I said, I'm not doing it, whatever. Still, we'll take a 2-0.
Right.
Winners in our pockets.
You should never begrudge a winning day.
I know. Hey, listen, and we've had winning days. We're having a nice little run here at GamblersWorld.net with our premium picks, and you get our premium picks, 3, 7, and 38 packages, all guaranteed. And if we don't show you a profit, that means we credit you back that amount of money, whatever package you got. And boom, you're taken care of. What else is there to say? $4.29 for the rest of the baseball season for me and Chip and Doug. Oh, wait a second. Doug is now an official member of the GamblersWorld.net website. So you get all of Doug's picks there. No longer part of the other group. So we don't have to mention their name. You're here now. Look at that. That's how we roll. He's like, you know what? I want to be Gamblers World guy. And now Doug is here with us.
Welcome aboard, Doug.
Thank you, sir. All right, appreciate it, guys. And it's just a, changing things up a little bit. Let's just put it that way. And so this is good going this direction, and going to be doing some other things too. I believe at Gamblers Worlds that looks like could be some fun stuff to do. So hey, but yes, thank you for welcoming me aboard and looking to get started. And here we go. Just been here here before there was Gamblers World doing the Winter Circle videos, for many years. So just hey, made sense, and here we are.
Just load you into the back end, and boom, you're on the site officially. Nice and easy transition for you here to the GamblersWorld.net website and family. So we do have, again, we'll briefly talk about it. We talked about it the other day with the Bears and the Texan game. Totals down to 30 here. Money coming in on a Texan. The lines moved to them about a 2 here now. Listen, if you haven't gotten the best number on this under here in this rando game, do I recommend playing at 30? No. But what I could recommend you to do is head on over to GamblersWorld.net. We have a contest going. It's more Twitter, I should say. Contest here. You can win a 3-day package, our Hall of Fame game contest package. It's a 3-day package, $99 value. Simple. You comment who's going to win. You guess the margin of victory. Total points. Obviously, we need some tiebreakers. That's how we go down this route. And boom. Be a follower of Gamblers World on Twitter. It's Gamblers World _Gamblers_World on Twitter. And then you're part of the contest. So be sure to do that. I tweeted out. We're going to tweet out all over the place. So you're watching a video. Why not? It costs you nothing. It's like hitting a like button. Comment on the game, and away you go. You got a chance of winning. But we'll start with Doug because he's new here.
That's right. I'm the new guy. I like it.
I'll hit you with the how you've been doing because now we get your picks here. But if you got anything to say on this game, again, we've talked about it all. We talked about it Monday. Me and Chip talked about it a little bit the other 2 days. Not much really to go on about this, but
yeah. Well, I'll make it brief. I have a long streak on the Hall of Fame game. I've never played it. Okay? Ever,
undefeated,
okay? And I won't ever play it. Okay, that's just me. Okay, so I'm good. Anybody that wants to do it, hey, if the guys are selling it at Gamblers World, if you'd like to buy their pick, go for it. Okay, but it's just not my cup of tea. But I'll be back for week 1. You can be sure of that. Okay,
week 1 of preseason or week 1 of NFL?
Week 1 of the preseason. I will have more to say about that next week. By the way, when that comes around. Anyway, so yes, I've been talking about like baseball's been, a little bit this, a little bit that. So I'm kind of still in that realm, but hit 4 of the last 6, 7 of the last 11. So there's some definite signs of trending upward. And now that it's August, we basically have 2 months to go in the regular season. Looking forward to really getting on another hot streak. And I have in my history, especially the last 3 years, August and September have been very good to me. So looking forward to it, guys.
All righty. Chip, anything to add on the game?
Well,
or
I feel the same way Doug does about the game. I don't look to play this game. If you bet it, you get what you deserve. I mean, this is just it's beyond the preseason exhibition game, if you know what I'm saying. I really want no part of it, and we're doing so well in baseball. We can let this one football game go. We got plenty of preseason, 11 betting days in those 3 weeks, in those 3 games, and I'm sure we're going to come up with something really well. We've always done, Doug, like you said, in the preseason. I think we have a major advantage because there are coaches that actually tell you that whether they're concerned or trying to win or they're just trying to look at people. And there are some coaches that are motivated and some that could care less. I mean, we had Harbaugh had a 22-game win streak in over 5-6 years. And the beat goes on for the most part in the preseason. I think it's a great opportunity and a great time to make some money, particularly if you are inside and understand what they're doing. And we do, because we're there. We live it every single day. Let us do the work, and we'll give you the winners.
So I'm different. I don't have it a pickup as to sell
in which way? You're different. You need to explain that a little.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, there's a lot of ways. So we can go on and on and on. I'm totally different than most people, not just on this show, but in the world in general. I am definitely a break the molds kind of guy.
You don't hear anybody arguing.
Exactly. Doug wants me to list it because he already knows. He's like, well, let me match up to what I have written down about you here because you're probably missing stuff. But I got the game posted on the sites here. I don't have it up as a package because I feel people really don't get into it, and preseason does get that bad rap, which I don't understand because the coaches tell you what they're going to do. And again, Hall of Fame game to me, it's just a flat out under at the best number. As soon as it comes up, I think you got to take it because you saw it come down here for just 4 points in a matter of a day and a half based on they're saying, oh, nobody's playing. Because I remember 3 weeks ago, Caleb, we're going to get him out here. He's going to get a lot of action. Well, you got an extra game. He's going to be on the sidelines in a suit or in shorts or whatever, just hanging out on the sideline. So, again, next week, like Doug said, regular week 1.
Let's go.
It's a good spot to be. You're going to have 2 teams. One of them's going to have a loss under their belt, so they'll be ready to go no matter who they're playing. So there's a little thought into my process of what to look at next week going into week 1. But, I've been pretty good myself here. Having a nice little run. Swept the boards yesterday, 3-0. Baseball's been pretty good to me all season. It's been steady. I'm not going to hype myself because then all of a sudden I'm going to be on a 1-5 run. So I'm just going to take it and go with it. We'll be on our way here. But we got 3 games today. Not sure why we have 5 games on August the 1st. It's not like it's an all-star break. It's a regular Thursday, not even a day game.
But that's the odd part.
No day games. No day games. What is happening here? This is just we're going to start with Chipper here. Chipper had a nice cash yesterday with us over Houston. Never in doubt winner on that over. Today we got the Orioles and the Cleveland Guardians, your favorite team.
Never said that.
Trevor Rogers, a new trade. I like this kid. I liked him in Miami. Yeah. I know you look at his record like, oh my goodness, this guy's terrible. He's actually hasn't pitched bad. His last starts 2-1, 2-2, 2-3, 2-2, 1 runs allowed. He's only going 5+, but that's also when you're coming off arm injuries. I don't expect much, especially the Miami organization who just throws guys to the wolves. Going back to when Girardi ran that show, everybody's out there with a Tommy John or some kind of rotator cuff, and all their young pitchers going back to A.J. Burnett and Josh Beckett were missing time. So I know what's in the water Miami with their arm injuries. But, yeah, Baltimore, Cleveland, basically a pick 'em. Lively, the new hire Rogers. I mean, is this total? I'm just kind of shocked it is this high. I'm looking at the number. I'm like, what is happening here? What am I missing that this number is a 9? How is it a 9? I got a Cleveland team with I think the best bullpen. Their pitcher's been solid. The O's have struggled this past month versus like quote unquote better kind of teams. I don't know. Chipper, what do you think here?
I think that understanding value may have something to do with this game. Both at 65 wins. Baltimore's played 2 more games and lost those 2. But Cleveland's plus $1,800 on the year, and Baltimore's only plus $380. By the way, I do like Trevor Rogers. I mean, his record being as bad as it is, when you're taking the mound against for the Miami Marlins, say this year, Florida Marlins, and you look around and you see who's backing you and who's there, I think your incentive is just the opposite of the way we've been talking about the Pirates, how Pittsburgh all of a sudden got a little giddy up in their step. And I think that's what has happened to Rogers out there, knowing woefully he had little chance of winning any start. And now he's with a team that's contending, and I think there's a whole different mindset for him. And Lively has been pretty effective, 9-6 this year, but he has given up 16 home runs in his 99 innings of pitching. And I think this game goes over the total. I wasn't even worried about who was going to end up being the starter for Baltimore. I just think these teams both have enough offense. I'm not worried about it's a feel for the game. It opened 9.5, and you said it's 9.
It's 9 now, yes.
Yeah, and I thought Kramer might have been out there. He's also a guy that gives up the long ball. But Trevor Rogers may have to adjust to the American League here and playing with the Orioles. But I think the total goes over. Cleveland's been outrageous at home, 33-15 on the year. But I'll play the total over, and I've got a big game winner on the site tonight. So log on, follow the buy links.
There you go. Doug, thoughts on this game? Anything?
Yeah, because I was just going to say it was 9.5 when I saw it earlier. And, I'm looking at the Cleveland offense. It's been a little lackluster of late. But they're still at 4.6 runs per game. Okay, not too bad. 13th, and then in terms of total runs scored, and they're 10th at home. The Orioles, they just came out of their most recent slump where they were, they were swinging for the fences. I mean, it was so obvious if you watched any of their games. They just got too homer happy in this one. So, however, their manager got them to go back to what they had been doing all season long, which is hitting the ball, foul pole to foul pole, okay, scattering it all over the ballpark. And now they started to score again. With their last 5 games, I think 7.1 runs per game, and in their last 10, 5.3, and they're back up to number 3 in total scoring for the year. Chip mentioned Ben Lively. He's been good, okay, but July wasn't as good at 4.50 ERA, and he's right now at a career high for innings at 99. He's 32. Not everybody might realize that. He's not a young guy, okay, by any stretch. I was very tempted to take Baltimore over the 3.5, but the juice was just too high at basically 200 on that one. So I'm going to go over 4.5 with Baltimore in this one because they average 5.32 runs per game. And I'm probably going to need them to score 1 run against the Cleveland bullpen, which isn't easy, but I think they're going to get it done. So I'm going to go over with Baltimore on 4.5 runs.
I like what you said about Lively's innings because this is where I kind of look at guys who are having nice seasons and where are they inning wise? Are they at career highs off in spots like him? And I'll be talking about Lugo myself. So the other guys having kind of a career year. We talk about Louis Hill and Sanchez and Suarez and a bunch of guys who are playing like out over their skis, as they say. I'd be more of an underlook on this one because I think the bullpen, even if he goes 5 innings, could come and shut things down. And again, Baltimore, it's a long season. Teams kind of hit a rough patch. I don't know. Oh, listen, out of Eflin, excellent. This is a nice little trade. Didn't really cost you too much. I have no idea why they did not get Tanner Scott. They let him go to San Diego. I would have went after, even though Miller's injured for Oakland. I thought the Orioles needed a bullpen closer more than anything. I don't know, Baltimore fans. I'm a little just. I had you penciled in because I thought for sure you're going to go get some kind of. How about the kid on Colorado? I know he doesn't get a lot of shots, but you need some bullpen help here. Why? Anyway, that's my Oriole rant. I'm not even an Oriole fan. I'm just. If I was, I'd be calling into their local AM radio station. What the heck are we doing here? Over to 9 is the official play. I'm officially annoyed the Orioles didn't get. I like Eloy Hillman. That's a nice little power bat off the bench. That's all you need, another guy with 30 homers. But, Doug and your Cubbies.
I am ready to talk about the Cardinals and the Cubs here on this one.
Look at this one. Amana and Gray. You got 2 good pitchers. What's there to say? The Cardinals, to me, totally overachieving. I didn't like their staff. I thought it was old. I thought they had an old lineup. Cubbies, I was all pumped on. I thought this kid, like, Amana, all right, I don't know what I'm going to get. But I know Steele's solid. Assad's put up good numbers. Talione's a veteran kind of guy. I thought the staff was there. What happened? We're in last place?
Because they're not very good, okay? They don't hit, okay? And their bullpen is just it's basically atrocious. But
Parides for Morel? What is that?
What's that?
Parides for Morel?
Well, I think that's kind of just an even. Morel hits home runs every now and again, but he strikes out a ton. There's, they're a collection of average players. That's what the Cubs are, okay? And maybe there's one or two that's above average, but that's about it. But in this game, you mentioned Imagawa, and the Cardinals are hitting 227 against left-handed pitchers in 2024. And the only team that does a worse job is the Seattle Mariners. So Imagawa, 2.85 ERA. Back on June 15th, he went 7 innings, allowing 4 hits and 1 run, okay, in a victory. Sonny Gray, okay, having a nice year. Speaking of different pitchers, 10-6, 3.79, but that ERA is on the rise for sure, because in July, his ERA over 4 starts was 6.75, 18 runs allowed, 32 hits in 24 innings. Not good. And it shouldn't really be a surprise, though, in this case, because if you go back 25, maybe more years than that, pitchers that are 6 feet or under 6 feet tall, okay, and are 32 years or older, they have a tendency to wear down in the second half of the season. And
Short
this is
people.
exactly what we're seeing out of Gray at 34 years old. The other thing with Gray, horrible home road splits. At Busch Stadium, sweet, 259. On the road, 429. So in this one, I'm going to proudly wear my Chicago Cubs shirt and say they get the job done in game 1. And I know Chip might like the St. Louis uniforms, but he likes the home ones, okay, not the road ones in this one. So I'm going to stick with the Cubs in this one and see if I can pull one out.
Cubbies minus 110 for Doug. Chip, don't worry about the uniforms.
No. I got Randy Newman's got something. He may be onto something about short people, Doug. So
short people got no reason to live.
They got tiny hands. They got tiny feet. It's just
they
hard to go beep.
That song, folks. If you don't watch the rest of the video, I'm not even gonna be mad at you. You're on YouTube. Go look up the lyrics to Short People.
That's funny.
They're hilarious.
You couldn't put it out today. I mean, it's so politically incorrect.
Radio stations.
Ridiculous.
Got no reason to live.
You know what also is incorrect?
Does he say they smell too?
Yeah, I know. I know one guy that smells. No, let's put it this way: Sonny Gray is in his 12th year. Isn't he considered one of the premier starters in baseball? I would imagine still 10-6 this year.
Premier is pretty good. I don't know about Premier, but
he's only had 5 seasons in his 12 years where he's won in the double digits with 14 wins as a high. He's in his last 5 starts, he's given up 24 runs in 28 innings. So he's struggling, and maybe that's really good for the Cubs who are fighting to get close to 500. By the way, this 30-year-old rookie that the Cubs are starting, his ERA is at 2.95. And Doug, where do you think it would be if he didn't give up 10 runs to the New York Mets? 10 earned runs.
Right. I had him that day.
I'm gonna take the Cubs here, though. I think they're just in a better spot. I like them here. And like I said, Sonny Gray, who's, I think he's a bit overrated. Like I said, only 5 double-digit winning seasons in 12 years. And plus the fact, if you don't do it for the Yankees, get out of town. So I'm gonna get the Cubs.
He definitely.
What was he, 4-7 with the Yankees?
He wasn't. Was he that bad with the Yanks?
I think he was like 4-7.
He's one of those guys, though. We've talked about this before. I know I've talked about on the show. I think it was with Sean as well. But one of those guys that just isn't necessarily a big city guy, and when the lights are really the brightest. I just don't think that was his deal. The money looked good, but that was about it.
I mean, we've seen guys come to the Yanks and do that. They just kind of collapse under.
I think of Doyle Alexander.
Doyle Alexander. Speaking of Doyle Alexander, let's since we're going back to the 80s, What do you got for us on this day in sports? You got anything for us?
I tell you, I have a
plethora
plethora
of
of stuff.
Old timer names.
Yeah, I got a plethora of stuff, and some of them are correlated to other dates and things that we've already talked about. August 1st, all right, 1918, Pittsburgh Pirates and the Boston Braves went 20 scoreless innings before Pittsburgh wins 2-0 in the 21st inning. And, you know, some of this stuff does tie together. 1924, the Brooklyn Robins playing at Ebbets Field. They had a pitcher named Dazzy Vance who struck out 7 straight batters against the Cubs in a 4-0 victory. Doug, he ended up having 14 Ks in that day back in 1924. And in 1928, the year after Babe Ruth hit 60 homers, he hit his 42nd home run on this date, which was 4 weeks ahead of his previous pace. But obviously, he fell off the pace because he only ended up with 59, only 59 in 1928. 1933, Carl Hubbell's 45-inning scoreless streak was ended. 1941, at Yankee Stadium, Lefty Gomez walked 11 as he pitched a 9-0 shutout. Walking 11 and pitching a shutout, you couldn't get out of the third inning nowadays with those kind of numbers, right? And 1945, Mel Ott hit his 500th homer, and not that was so significant, but in 1945, there were only 2 guys ahead of him, Babe Ruth and Jimmy Fox. And, you know, Jimmy Fox is a guy, one of the great power hitters of all time we never hear about. You never hear about this guy, and he was one of the all-time great power hitters. I mean, right up to Ralph Kiner at the time. And remember I talked about how, Gil Hodges in 1957 hit the National League leading 13th career Grand Slam. And the only thing that really makes this significant in 1957 is that it was the last Grand Slam hit by a Brooklyn Dodger because they moved to LA in 1958. And as a matter of trivia, there was an ex-major leaguer on a promotional day that threw a Major League Baseball on this date 445 feet. I mean, not that you're going to throw anybody out from that distance because you're actually out of the stadium. But could you imagine ex-baseball player on a promotion? And finally, I got this.
Hold on. You can't say it's a trivia and not tell us who it is. What, are you going to come back later on and add in the comments?
I know, but how's he going to throw anyone out? He's throwing about 445 feet. I don't think so. And after I was released from the Army, one of the very first days, I picked up the newspapers, and I saw this, and my eyes exploded. Nate Colbert, 1972. Do any of you guys remember this? He had 5 home runs in a doubleheader with 13 RBIs. And picking up the newspaper that day and seeing all those numbers jumbled together was just great. You weren't even born?
I'll be 50 on Sunday. I wasn't born in 1972.
Oh, I'm gonna have to send you a silver anniversary present for that. By the way, Willie McCovey in 1977. We had mentioned in 1959 how he broke in going 4 for 4. He hit his 18th career Grand Slam, passing Gil Hodges, of course, and that was a National League record. And the last, and my most favorite of all, on this date in 2021, Paisan Gianmarco Tamburini won the gold medal in the long jump. So there you have it. Paisans are sitting there, and they thought we could only book action.
Hey, now the question I had though, the first one you mentioned about the game that was 20. Who are the teams again?
That was the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Boston Braves, and they went 20. Innings, scoreless.
Better that game would have been if they had the designated runner in the 10th inning. Okay.
Well, but the thing is, both starters had complete games this day. That's the unique thing about it. No, I don't know that.
No pitch clock in there. It would have sped things up a little bit. It was 20
now,
innings, but
if you put a guy
20 innings
on
only
second
felt
base.
like 11. If you speed it up, it would only felt like 11 innings.
Yeah. There was a lot of stuff to get to today, and I tried to ramble through it, but some of it I thought was kind of amusing.
Yes. Nice job.
Before I ramble on to my KC Detroit game, number 1, get the entire second half season for just $4.29. Number 2, sure, people got little baby legs. They stand so low, you got to pick them up just to say hello.
Right.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They got grubby little fingers and dirty little minds. They're going to get you every single time. They wear platform shoes on their nasty little feet. Randy Newman is straight up menace to midgets and pygmies across the world.
Well, now there you go. There you go. You know,
Hall of Fame contest. Here you go. Win a 3-day package. It's on Twitter. It's tweeted out. We'll keep tweeting all day long. 1, you comment who's going to win. 2, guess the margin of victory. 3, total points, because we need some kind of tiebreaker as we get down the line. Obviously, margin of victory, people got the same. Then we got to go to the next one, and so be it. And you have to be a follower of gamblers._world on Twitter. So if you haven't already, follow on the X. It's Twitter. I can't even say X.
Can you be a member of the staff?
No.
This guy.
No. Okay.
Not a chance.
All right.
Chip's the guy who goes. He's working. He goes to the restaurant, tries to get the family discount. He's like,
no, I get sick. I
put
put hair in my food. I mean,
oh my goodness. KC and Detroit. You know, we got Lugo on the hill versus Montero. Detroit is absolutely giving up on the season. They traded Flannery. I'm glad they didn't trade Skubal, because in 2 years, if you're good, you're going to be like, we got to go get a guy like Skubal. Well, you just traded him for nothing. So at least they kept him. I don't know with this one here. I'm a Lugo guy. I'm a Royal guy. I have a over-win ticket here. I thought they'd have a nice season. They go out and get Lorenzen. They're all in here for the playoff. They picked up some bullpen action. He's having a good year, but you know what? 2 of the last 3 starts, I see 5 runs up. Is he getting a little tired? He's already matched up his basically innings of last year that he had in San Diego, 146 last year, 142 this year. Could it be a little tired spot? Possibly. I definitely don't want to lay a 150 here. Montero, though, 5 runs, 5 runs, 5 runs, 0, 2, and then 5 and 4. Yeah, okay. I'm going to get 5 runs here, or maybe 4 more, just off him before a bullpen comes in. I'm going to look at a team total for the Royals here. You know, I know that Chipper loves his Bobby Witt, but I like Vinny P. I like Garcia. I like Sally Dog Perez, nice guy in the middle lineup, veteran kind of guy. I like the Royals. I was there to say, but 150 on the road, not my style. No, thank you. Run line, I get it. If you don't want to do a team total here, 4.5, that's fine. I'm not going to come out and attack you for it. But my play here, over 4.5 minus 120. They should get 5 off Montero. That's what he's been giving up.
Yeah.
That's what he's been giving up. They're hitting. This is a team. You mentioned Miami, kind of guys going out and feeling like, woe is me, the sky's falling. Well, these guys got to feel good. They're going out. They're pulling starting pitchers off the Rangers in trades. So I hate saying stuff like free money, but it's just the whole – we're feeling good. We're making trades. Right. We're going for it. 4.5 runs versus a bad pitcher. And Detroit's got to be like, here we are again. A lot of hype coming into the year. Injuries, pitchers. We got no hitting coming up from us. Torkelson's a big stud. The guy's back in the minors, striking out left and right. Give me the team total over 4.5 here. I'm not going to get wrapped up in a 150. Too much to worry about it. Then I have to worry about a great added by Lugo if I had a run line. No, thank you. Team total is good enough for me. We'll go back down to Chip to see what he thinks about my team total 4.5.
Well, I like it because I like Kansas City on the run line. I think it's a great situation. You know they're going to get 9 at-bats. And this Montero has been absolutely horrendous. Last 3 starts, like you said, Sean, 15 innings, 23 hits, 6 home runs. I mean, he's just been getting bombed left and right. 27 runs his last 36 innings with 10 home runs over the long haul. Seth Lugo, we played against him last time out. Maybe he has hit – I don't think he's hit a brick wall, Sean, but maybe he has slowed down the pace a little bit. But I think he can maintain it enough to beat the Tigers here. And on the run line, they beat them 3 straight. They swept the series in Kansas City earlier. I think Kansas City is the only side. I would play it without laying the runs, but I'd rather not lay the money, of course. So I'll lay the 1.5, and I'll take the Royals, and that's why we call it gambling.
It'd be stealing if we'd have what was that? Biff's Pleasure Palace from Back to the Future, right? He had the little
wow. I've fantasized about that a million times.
I'm going to lie. The Great Sports Almanac would be great just to have for just one season.
But you want the horse racing results.
The horse racing. Doug, what about the golf results with that?
20-1, Doug. We get 40-1 on a horse. You kidding?
What a great deal. Okay.
Yeah.
Especially if it wins. Of course.
Well, we're not
the best horse racing thing I've ever heard. I bet him at 5-2, and he came in at quarter after. And this one, a little trepidation here because, well, we looked at this early. I had Seth Lugo at over under 17.5 outs. And then I looked again about a half hour before the show, and up to the showtime, it had been pulled at DraftKings. So a little bit. So I'm not really, I'm assuming it's going to come back up. I'm not sure why that number or what was pulled, but my story is on this with Lugo. I agree with Sean and with Chip in the fact that Lugo probably isn't going to be the same pitcher in the second half that he was in the first half, but I still think he can be effective and be effective against a bad offense like Detroit has that is absolutely punchless. You kept mentioning, Sean, about, Kansas City going for it. Detroit's not going for it, the rest of the year. So in terms of the attitude of the team, you have to wonder a little bit about that. They don't hit well. Lugo has gone 6 innings in 11 of his last 12 starts, whether he has given up runs or not. So they've kept him out there because he's kept his pitch counts low enough. I think he does it again. So I'd go over. If the number is 17.5, I would go over it.
Yeah. No, he's having a nice year, Lugo. I think we're all right on this Kansas City. I just don't like laying the 150s on the road. And for me, like you guys mentioned, whether it was before the trade deadline or after, teams do respond to that kind of nonsense. The guys who are left are like, man, I didn't get traded. They'll be in a funk for a little bit. September's a different ballgame. You got some new blood coming up from the minors. Maybe those teams are worth a look. Not in August. Not when it's a doldrum season for some guy who's got 8 years and he's playing on some derelict squad. But let's recap here.
And these bad teams that you mentioned, the bad teams. The other thing that that people could do if you're a veteran, you happen to be going to games. If the guy goes into the park and he leaves his car running on a bad team, he's probably looking to get a quick exit out.
Is that a true story? Who did that?
No, I'm just. So that's
Doug, the price of gas nowadays, Doug.
Old-time joke of any sport you want to name. So
I enjoyed the horse joke. 5-2, he came in quarter after.
Yeah,
I'm going to try to use that in a show sometime.
You just did.
Yeah, but he used it. It's not mine. It's his. I'm going to borrow it. Doug likes the Cubbies today, -110. Chipper over Orioles, Cleveland. I am a KC run line guy, over 4.5, -120. Those are the 3 picks. We are 3-4 this week in the video. I think we sweep the board today and get back in the plus. That's my prediction. Another prediction, and it's a guaranteed lock for you. If you buy a 3-7 or 38 package at GamblesRoll.net and you don't show a profit in that time, you will get credited back for your package. So guaranteed winner either way. You're either getting the credit back to go get another package or you're winning. I'm guessing 7 out of 10 times you're going to win in a package. That's just – I think that's a fair assessment. I know it seems high, but you give us a couple days to prove ourselves to you, I think we do that. I think we've done it over the long run here in our videos on the Winner Circle channel here on YouTube. So hit that like button, subscribe to our channel. Again, Hall of Fame contest up on the Twitter, Gamblers World Twitter feed. It's tweeted out. Winner, margin of victory, total points, and give it a follow. Pretty simple to do. Unless you're a short person, you can't reach your mouse. You got to get a little step stool. Gary Newman, please go look. Randy Newman. Gary Newman was part of the Cars, I think. Randy Newman is the singer here, making fun of short people. I'm sure we'll get some comments on that. I don't care. It's a funny song. Sorry, Jim. Hopefully we don't get too many offensive comments on the Randy Newman song. But for Chip, Doug, and myself, we are out of here on Thursday. Welcome in Doug, full-timer here. I'm sure I'll be contributing to more videos going forward, probably on Football Fridays. That'll probably start up pretty soon because we got NFL is here, college football 23 days away. It starts on Saturday, the 24th. Crazy. Anyway, thank you for watching. We will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.